Our opening soliloquies on the meaning of this game. Here's what I would say. And I've been saying for weeks now that a lot would have to happen for me to be dissuaded from the notion that the Steelers have a legitimate shot to make a playoff run. They have a legitimate shot. Why? Because they have a quarterback, finally. It's one thing to be in it, like their apologists would brag about for the past 7 years or the past however many years. They're always in it. Not really. You're not really in it when you're sort of on the edge of being one of the 44% of the teams that make the playoffs, or maybe not. And if you go there, you're going to get blown out in the first round. They have not come close to winning a playoff game in 7 years. They were never really in it. They are now. They are now. This team can win. It's not a prediction, but when I see Russell Wilson cooking like that, I don't care who it was against, and that is a horrendous defense. I don't care who it was against. They've played a lot of bad teams and horrible defenses in the past however many years, and not since Ben's prime have we seen quarterbacking like that. So I remain convinced more than ever, because of what Bob just said, they proved they can win any kind of game. They've won one 18-16 and another one 44-38 within their own division. The Steelers have a quarterback. They have an offense. They could conceivably, and I'm sure you all saw this guy last night, beat Buffalo if a certain amount of points are needed. Kansas City, if a certain amount of points are needed. Baltimore, for sure. They own Baltimore. So, Bob, what was true was underscored, for me anyway, yesterday, and that is that this Steelers team, warts and all, and from what I've seen, every team in the AFC has some. Every contender has some. They have a legitimate shot to make a playoff run in the AFC because they have a quarterback.
And Mike Tomlin went a little bit rogue when he went against apparently people in the own building and others in the media who didn't like the fact that Russell Wilson was coming in for a 4-2 quarterback in Justin Fields, but he had never changed. And I can, testify to this based on talking to him and the shows that we do, that he always had him listed number one. And he wanted to see what this offense would look like with Russell Wilson. A lot of people didn't want to see that happen, based on how Justin Fields was playing. And I understand that, but he went and did what he thought was best for this team, and so far it's proving to be right. And you're right. When you have a quarterback who can do what Wilson does, it makes everybody better. And, I'm glad you said with a little caveat that I didn't think Cincinnati was quite that bad defensively, but they're worse than I could have ever thought they were. They really are. They're not a good team. But having said that, they still had to know that they had to go back and forth. And they decided, okay, we're realistic about this. Joe Burrow is going to pass the football on us. He's done on every other team, and there's no reason to think he can't, even against a good defense. What we need to do is outscore him. And they did. And they decided to open it up. 10 different receivers. Everyone touched the ball except Mike Williams. But that was it. And he moved it around great. He got people involved with it. I love the fact, and you've heard me before, Joe, talk about the middle of the field. And I don't mean to do it, but there's a lot of vacancies there. Yesterday, they determined that Cincinnati, on game film, that left the middle of the field open for delayed little over-the-middle tosses to running backs out of the backfield. I counted, they did it 6 different times. That's a lot of times where there's a vacated area in the middle. And maybe that's a product of the Steelers going to the sidelines quite a bit. Whatever the case may be, they went and attacked that part of the game. And Russell Wilson, like a lot of good quarterbacks will do, is he got everyone involved in this. And I think that's a huge benefit. And you can tell the confidence. That's another thing. Teams that win, teams that think they can win, have a better chance of winning. I don't know in the past several years as they went post-Ben Roethlisberger if they had that internal feeling that, you know what, we can stand up to Buffalo, we can go to Kansas City and win. They can. They have the tools to get it done. That's not a guarantee or a prediction, but they do have
and that's the
internal
only point.
Belief that they can do that.